Kenya's veteran opposition leader Raila Odinga has formally filed a petition challenging the election results in Kenya's Supreme Court. Odinga has rejected the outcome of the poll after he narrowly lost to the Deputy President William Ruto by around 230,000 votes, or less than 2% points. Last week, the election commissioner declared Ruto had won the election by a slim margin, but 4 out of 7 election commissioners dissented, saying the tallying of the results had not been transparent. Now, this is Odinga's 5th stab at the presidency. He blamed several previous losses on rigging. Now, those disputes triggered violence that claimed more than 100 lives in 2017. And more than 1,200 lives in 2007. Now, in 2017, the Supreme Court overturned the election results and ordered a rerun, which Odinga boycotted, saying he had no faith in the Election Commission. All right, now for more on the story, we're now joined via Zoom by SABC News correspondent Sarah Kimani. Sarah, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Now that Odinga has filed, the petition in court, what's expected to happen now?
Well, he has filed indeed, and he's not the only one who has filed. At least 8 other people, private citizens, civil society organizations have also filed their petitions. So now what will happen is that within the next 7 days, Odinga and the other 8 petitioners must serve the Electoral Commission. They must serve William Ruto, who is one of the respondents, that is the president-elect and the current deputy president. And then the processes of the court, including the status conference, will happen within the next 7 days. And then from the 8th day, the court will begin hearing the case, and only on the 14th day can a verdict be delivered. If the court works faster, then it can deliver a verdict earlier. However, it cannot pass 2 weeks after today, so we expect a verdict within 2 weeks from now.
And what is the election, commission saying at this point, Sarah?
Well, the Election Commission has not spoken particularly about this case. They have previously, the chairperson has previously spoken and said that the 4 dissenting commissioners who walked out on the day that the results were being read, if you remember very well, we broadcast that live when there was that skirmishes at the National Tallying Center. He says the reason for the skirmishes that you saw and the hold-up that we saw that lasted over 2 hours was because those 4 dissenting commissioners were trying to force a runoff. In other words, they were trying to get the chairperson of the commission, Wafula Chebukati, to say that neither Odinga nor Ruto has attained the threshold to be declared winner automatically without having going for a runoff. And so he says that is what happened, and that is why that happened. They have denied. Today, however, we saw all of them, the 4 that dissented plus the 3 that remained in the hall, meeting and declaring that elections that had been postponed would now go on the 29th of August. So they seem to be working together. But in the cases that have been filed, because we've seen the court papers, the 4 are actually seen as part of most of the petitions that are being filed, while Chebukati, the chairperson, and the other 2 are respondents. And indeed, in the Odinga case, Chebukati, their prayer is that Chebukati is found to have committed crimes. So they want him removed from the commission and charged for crimes that he committed, electoral crimes, they say.
And while all of this is happening, particularly the court cases, what can you tell us about the actual inauguration of the new president? I mean, like I said in the intro, last week, the election commissioner declaring William Ruto having won the election, Bharat being by a very small margin. Will the inauguration of the new president then be put on hold until the issue is resolved?
Yes, indeed. What will happen now is that everything is on hold. Behind the scenes, the transition committee will continue working. We saw Ruto last week appointing 3 people to that commission. However, they will be working with the knowledge that the case could go either way. There could be, the court could ask for a rerun. The court could also ask for a retally, that is the seeing what actually came into the National Tallying Center and redoing the arithmetics to see if indeed that was the proper tally, or the court could throw out the petition. In that case, then Ruto would be sworn in on the 30th of August. But should there be a case for a rerun, then a rerun must be held within the next 3 months, meaning the country would go back to a presidential election only within the next 3 months, and only then can the other processes follow. Even after those 90 days, another petition could be lodged in court. However, it is going to be, there may be a legal crisis, because if the court orders a rerun, already Odinga and his team are saying they will not have a rerun under Chebukati and the current commission. So should the court not declare Chebukati to have committed any crimes, it means then we will go with the same commission. We would wait to see then whether Odinga would agree to go to elections with the same commission. In 2017, he refused to go for the rerun with the same commission. So the country went to a rerun, but Odinga was not there to a re-election. Odinga was not, did not participate, although he was on the ballot, and so Uhuru Kenyatta won that election.
And in fact, Sarah, I wanted us to touch on the possible next steps in as far as Odinga is concerned. I mean, this was his fifth stab at the presidency. Of course, also, as you rightfully say, it's not the first time he's rejected election results. Any indication at all if we are likely to see, you know, a similar stance or even a different stance from him this time around?
It's difficult to tell now, because in their case this time, they are asking that Chebukati is found criminally culpable for whatever happened at the Bomas of Kenya and all the other irregularities that they are mentioning in their petition. They actually have 27 issues that they want the court to deal with. Now, if the court then does not say anything about the commission, it means the country would go to elections with the current commission as constituted, the 4 dissenting and the 3 who stayed alongside, the 2 who stayed alongside Chebukati, plus Chebukati himself. But what I read from what Odinga read after the petition today is that he's also trying now to speak to the electorate should there be a re-election. He spoke about the current winners, that is Deputy President William Ruto and his troops, the Rigathi Gachagua, the running mate, and all the other members of parliament being what he's calling corruption cartels. So he's again now starting to speak to Kenyans, telling them, look, the people who you voted for, or the people who are said to have been voted for, are actually corrupt, and these are not the people who should be leading the country. So he's already looking into what should happen in case there is a re-election. He's already speaking to the support base and those who may not have supported him, saying these are not the right people to be leading the country at this moment.
Sarah, let's leave it there for now. I'm sure plenty of more to come from you as we watch this story very closely, and of course the courts. Thank you so much for your time. All right, that was Sarah Kimani giving us the very latest from Kenya.